was. I was thrown off because I missed the first cue to come in. I didn't realize I missed the first cue. Must have been talking. But we'll start over. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and we're coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at The Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talking text line. Again, it is 833-212-1017. You can call in or text in with any thoughts on the show. You can also watch and stream us live on the YouTubes by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube, where you can give us a like, you can give us a share, you can give us a subscribe so you do not miss any of your favorite award-winning 1017 The Truth shows. Shout out to Rhea Riley, my producer, who's back holding it down on the ones and the twos.
Hello, it's me.
And shout out to you, Truth Nation, for chiming in, listening, and anywhere that you can. Whether it's on YouTube, 1017 The Truth on YouTube, whether it's on the award-winning 1017 The Truth FM dial, or if it is the 1017 The Truth app where you're streaming us. I appreciate y'all listening, and you can always go back and download and listen back to any show that you missed by going to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or going to the 1017 The Truth app. Now, today, Truth Nation, I want to get back into, we're going to talk about January 6th. Don't get it twisted. It is January 6th. It is a day in American history that we will discuss. But first, I want to talk a little bit about, first, Rhea, welcome back. Girl, you been gone.
Hey, it's me. I'm back.
We was gone. Guess who's back? Back again.
Whoa, whoa.
K-Wall's back. Hey, tell a friend. Yeah, that's a good song. But you back in, I talked about the bachelor party yesterday. I don't know if you heard it or not.
No, actually. I think I heard maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I got in a little trouble with DJ Brother Z and my significant other because I said it was the gayest bachelor party I've ever been a part of for a straight man. But it was the most bachelorette bachelor party I've been a part of. Let's just say that. That is the better way to say it. Why you looking at DJ Brother Z like that?
You just sound like you messed up.
I ain't messed up. It's just, under reflection, they said it wasn't gay. It was just a bachelorette party. I said, okay.
Boy, run it back. What's going on here?
Oh, no, we had goodie bags, and we had eye masks inside the goodie bags.
Yeah, that's great.
And we had balloons everywhere, and she wanted us to dress up as nurses. And he's a doctor, PhD doctor, not MD doctor. She wanted us to dress up as nurses, and he dressed up as a doctor. Tell me that ain't bachelorette-y.
It sounds like a good time. I don't know about you. But...
Yeah, to a woman, exactly.
No, what? What do you mean to a woman?
This is 11 Negroes. We have no interest in doing that.
You can't do a face mask and hang out with your buddies?
No.
Oh my God! Wow, what the toxic masculinity?
Toxic masculinity, my ass. That's not. I don't even do face masks by myself. How many men just go and do face masks with their boys? I'm sure some do, but not all.
Men that take care of themselves.
Yeah, not for a bachelor. It was a one-day bachelor party that started at 5:00. You don't think we got time for face masks? No, we want breast and butt.
Yikes.
That's what we want to see.
That?
No, not me. Not any of us.
Oh, not me. No,
none of us.
That's what we want.
We just threw money. So no. So it was like a bachelorette party. Oh, stop it! You would go to the Sugar Shack if you could.
Yeah, but I would also enjoy the face mask. I can do both.
I would enjoy a face mask with my lady, not with the 10 other men.
So you guys don't know how to hang out then,
dude. Rhea,
you don't know how to hang out with your friends.
When you find a significant other man, make sure you understand that he'll do a face mask with you, but don't suggest to him, hey, honey, go on your bachelor party and do a face mask with 10 other dudes. No, go drink and go party and go to the club. Go have a good time. Maybe go play some card games or something like that. What are we doing?
Maybe he's because was he a nurse? You said nurse or doctor? Either way, he's in the medical field.
No, he's not. That's the problem. He has a PhD.
Oh, shoot. Say it again.
He has a PhD, not an MD. He's not a medical doctor. That was the whole point. It was stupid.
You sound like a hater, bro.
You sound like a woman, sis.
Wow. Got me.
833-212-1017. Now, I want to get to the wedding part because there was something significant that did come from the wedding. This is my second African wedding that I've ever attended. My god sister got married in Nigeria, and she also did a wedding here as well, and attended both of those that had some African cultures that were part of it. And it's always when I go to these African traditional weddings, and they had the African one on Friday and the American traditional one on Saturday, where they still implemented some of the African traditions. And you know, the Africans came dressed to the nine. But it's always a stark reminder when I go to that we as Black Americans, we don't have a real culture of our own. We need to create more culture. Yes, we have things that we do, but I feel like we don't have real culture that we can call our own because our history and our roots were snatched from us once we were taken and robbed and kidnapped and placed on boats. We lost our legacy. And it's imperative for us to celebrate things like Kwanzaa and for us to find an identity for we as Black people to have, because that is something that is lack thereof. When I see them go through an actual tradition ceremony on Friday, because the wedding was extravagant, it was. But on Friday, they had a ceremony where it was him asking the family of the bride to grab their rose and have that rose be part of him and his family sitting on one side, her family sitting on another side, and going through that tradition. It was special because it was tradition. It was something they have been doing for years, hundreds of years in the Sierra Leone tradition. And that is something that I absolutely thought was beautiful and something that was actually precious because it was something that was cool that they actually had culture with. You can feel that it meant something to their family. You can see that it meant something to my boy's family as well to be a part of that. We as African Americans don't have that exact same luxury because we just do traditional weddings, but we don't have a real culture. Hell, most Americans lack culture because most Americans are so far removed from their actual roots of where they came from, whether it's us enslaved coming from Africa or individuals that came here from Europe, or even Native Americans who lost some of their culture by being beaten and raped by some of those original pilgrims who came to this country. A lot of us have lost our original culture. So I'm not envious of the fact that they get to have this sense of connection to their culture, but I do hope that we one day have a chance to do that. Because as a Black man, seeing my boy have so much pride in joining a family where his family got to go through that traditional Sierra Leonean ceremony was cool. And then the night of the wedding, they also had all these outfit changes, which was extremely cool, keeping up with culture. That is what culture is, Truth Nation. That is what culture is. And so for me, I think about here in America, I think something that we should really focus on, and, you know, I don't know who it starts with, but we should really think about embracing the things that make us identify as a people, make us identify as one. I know some of us do the jumping over the broom when we get married, but we can be more extravagant and we can start traditions. Because understand, a tradition starts with one time, one thing that continues to go on. Being part of a fraternity myself, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, in 1906, December 4th, 1906, when they started the organization, they no way could see 100 plus years later what it would turn into, but they started it because they felt like it was something that was necessary. And now you have many other Black Greek letter organizations that have their own traditions that they follow, but they started something. Kwanzaa was something that was started many years ago with somebody that had a vision of wanting to celebrate the history and the unity of our community, and now still people celebrate Kwanzaa. There is so much power in being connected to the past and having a legacy. That's why we take so much pride in the last name, even though many of us, this is not our actual original last name of our family, but adopted last name. But we take pride in that. We take pride in going to family reunions. We take pride in certain things that are traditions. And I'm just saying, overall as a whole, it would be great, especially with understanding the power of marriage and understanding the power of raising kids in two-parent households and the power of education, of us having these occasions where we can celebrate a tradition of success, celebrate a tradition of unity. I just feel like there was so much power in seeing that whole family. And I saw it in Africa and what it was in Nigeria when I went there. And then I got to see it again last Friday and again on Saturday night of what it meant to these folks. It was powerful and you can feel the energy. And I hope one day we as a community, we as black folks can one day have some type of traditions when we get married or some type of traditions when we have children or whatever it is that we continue to pass down and something that we all can do. Because I'm telling y'all, there is nothing more unifying and connecting than understanding when you get married in Sierra Leone or you get married in Nigeria, this is what we do. This is how we hand our bride off to you. This is how we connect our family and make them one. It is an absolute beautiful thing. But 833-212-1017. Again, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. You can also chime in on today's conversation by hitting us up on the Truth Talking text line at 833-212-1017. Again, that is the Truth Talking text line at 833-212-1017. Just like Aramore hit us up, said, Kyle, it's disingenuous to claim that we don't have culture of our own. We do have a culture of our own. It's very influential. Okay, share some of the culture that we have. Because I'm saying we have history, but what I'm saying is if we can share some cultural things where you're talking about rites of passage ceremonies, where we're talking about weddings and we're talking about what we do at birth, I'm talking about those. And so, Aramore, I would love to hear some of these cultures and traditions that you speak of, because I don't know what to tell you. For instance, the banjo is an instrument that derives from in Africa that paved the way for numerous genres. Great. Like, yes, there's things like that, but I'm talking about traditions. I'm not talking about our influence on music. I'm talking about cultural things such as ceremonies and cultural things that we do as a community that we can look at a wedding and know, oh, when black people get married, oh, this is what they do. Or when black people give birth to a child in this community, this is what we all do. That's what I'm talking about. So I would love to hear your response to that. Because I'm not saying we don't have a history. We do. I'm not saying we don't have any type of culture, because we do have culture. But we don't have a legacy culture the way that these other folks do. I've been to a lot of different weddings. I've been to a lot of different events. I've seen a lot of kids be born. And I just don't feel like we have the exact same thing because it was snatched from us. But 833-212-1017. When we come back, today is the 5-year anniversary of the attack on the Capitol here in America, the day where we saw democracy almost die here in this country. How do you remember January 6th? Was it as bad as people tried to make it out to be? And would the mob have survived had they been full of black people? These are the questions that I want to ask you today. And I mean, maybe we already know the answer, but 833-212-1017. We will discuss how you feel about January 6 rioters and the 1,500 people who were pardoned. When you think about January 6 today, has your view changed of what happened since 2021? Or has it stayed the same, and why? 833-212-1017 is Truth to Power. Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Honest, direct, and always thought-provoking.
Nice people get applause. Oh, that was a thoughtful thing to say. It's like when you ask somebody a question and the person repeats back to you, good question. They're being nice, but kindness earns respect. Being nice pleases people. Being kind improves them, and that difference, the one personal strength you should always have, character.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 to 6, live on YouTube and broadcasting on 1017 The Truth.
Since 1976, Community Advocates has helped Milwaukee residents meet their basic needs, enabling them to live with dignity and hope. Today, Community Advocates offer 40 specialized programs that addresses rental housing challenges, energy assistance, domestic violence, substance misuse, and more. Their commitment is to ensure individuals and families have access to essential resources and opportunities for a better quality of life. If you need help, go to communityadvocates.net. That's communityadvocates.net.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Every child deserves a school that sees their brilliance. At Milwaukee College Prep, they believe in high expectations, strong character, and academic excellence starting as early as age of 3. MCP scholars continue to outperform their peers across Milwaukee. And the best part about it all, Milwaukee College Prep is tuition free. If you're looking for a school that partners with you, challenges your child, and prepares them for college and beyond, Milwaukee College Prep is the place. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to learn more. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry. This is a type of blood cancer.
but day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
One call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. If you or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, y'all know what to do. Call Gruber Law Offices. Don't mess around with anything else, man. I'm telling y'all this right now. The insurance companies will give you the runaround, and you don't want to have to deal with that. You want to make sure that you are working with a law firm that stands up for you and also protects you. And what I love about Gruber Law Offices is they'll take the burden off your shoulders, and you never have to worry about paying anything until they win your case. So why wait? Why mess around with anything else other than Gruber Law Offices, the law firm that has the results that speak for themselves? So visit them today at gruber-law.com. That is gruber-law.com, or visit them or call them at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. You can give us a like. You can give us a share. You can give us a subscribe as well. On the other side, we were talking about the fact that I went to a wedding, an African wedding that had African culture, and I was speaking with Aaron Moore hit me up. He said, Kyle, jumping the broom is a Black American tradition, which I mentioned. We are not going to have stuff that's just like people in Africa. This is what happens when culture is not preserved. And I think that is so key. I think it is extremely key about the fact that we do not preserve all the things that we do in culture. We don't get 100% behind supporting things that are part of our culture. It's something that is not universal. As I told him, when you look at the fact that, yes, we have some folks who jump the broom, but I wouldn't say that's a universal thing. But when you look at these African weddings, by the way that they dress, right? They dress in a certain way when they go to weddings. Why? It's because that is part of their culture. You know, the throwing of the money that they do, that is part of a way to throw money to welcome them into, you know, give them some type of money to start off their new life. That, to me, shows the true power of culture being passed down in value. So I agree, we as a community do not preserve enough of our history, and that's where it eventually goes on to die. But 833-212-1017, that is the Truth Talk and Text line. And now, Truth Nation, today is the anniversary of January 6th, 5-year anniversary of January 6th. And I love when white people like to rewrite history. I really do. It amuses me when they try to act like certain things never occurred or wasn't that big of a deal, try to diminish things. Black people do it too, but many white folks do it too, and boot-looking black folks do it as well. And for me, I always think about when they tell you Jesus, right? Rhea, you know who Jesus is.
Couldn't tell you who's that.
Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. When they tell you Jesus was a white man, And they depict him with long blonde hair, all these pane glass windows and everywhere they got Jesus. Hell, you can probably Google Jesus now and you probably see a white man with long golden hair. Despite the fact that we understand that the book of Revelations 1:14 describes Jesus' hair as white like wool and as white as snow, and him being born in the Middle East, specifically the West Bank area. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if y'all saw during the awful bombing of the Palestinians by Israel. Remember, a lot of those Israel folks, they got moved there after World War II, or they migrated there as well, European descent. A lot of them folks in the Middle East look a little bit, they look light-skinned brown, right? They're light-skinned. They don't look white. They don't have blonde hair. Most have, tanner skin. Most have, some of them got some stringy hair. Some have wool hair. But they don't look like a white man with blonde hair. But these white folks will tell you, hey, that's what Jesus Christ is. They will try to tell you that having statues and monuments of Confederates who on the losing side of history is about remembering history, but really when you remember history, you put it in books. You don't give them statues because statues are to honor people, but they'll try to rewrite history to tell you that. So what I want to tell y'all today is that these white Republicans and these black bootlickers, because yes, there will be a lot of black folks who will try to ignore the fact that this actually happened today. They will attempt to diminish what actually occurred on January 6th and try to tell you what you actually saw did not occur. And I am here to tell you today, do not let them do that. We cannot forget about the brave police officers that I believe in because I back the badge. I really do. But these brave police officers were attacked and overran by a mob that was influenced by President Donald Trump. That is what happened. He is the now sitting president, led a mob on January 6, 2021. Do not allow these people to rewrite what happened on January 6th because it was a treasonous act by individual citizens in this country who attempted to interfere with a peaceful transfer of power in our country. It was the largest single day of mass assault of law enforcement officers in our nation's history. I just want y'all to understand that January 6, 2021 was the largest mass assault on law enforcement in our country's history, and it was led by people that claim they back the badge and they support law enforcement. It was an absolute disgraceful display and should be in history books forever. Matter of fact, they should put statues up of these folks so we never forget that these folks were the dumbasses that tried to storm the Capitol. These far-right radical agitators attempted to overturn our democratic system here in America. And our weak president, our aging president, he pardoned these criminals and he pardoned these thugs. Don't let these Republicans tell you anything different, Truth Nation. They are going to act like they weren't scared. They aren't going to act like they weren't scared poopless, because I can't say the other word. But in reality, we have to understand that history will show that these folks were scared for their lives. One of the most staunch supporters of Donald Trump is Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio. Jim Jordan on that day of January 21st called Donald Trump out of fear that the protest was growing too hostile. Today, he'll act like it never happened. Marco Rubio, who is the current Secretary of State of the United States, he called Trump on that day to get rioters out to back them up. In his own words, he said, it is crucial for the president to restore order. And he asked him to have those folks who were attacking the Capitol to stand down. He asked the president to do that. And now he got his nose far up Trump's behind. Mitch McConnell, who can't walk straight, he called the attack disgraceful and said Trump provoked it. And now he's mumbling and stumbling, barely know where he at, not saying anything about this day. Lindsey Graham, which we know about Lindsey Graham, he likes closets. Nothing wrong with closets. I love a good closet. But he's a big closet guy. He loves going into closets.
He would do a face mask.
He would 100% do a face mask. He'd get a face mask, nails done. He'd chit chat, but in the closet. Lindsey Graham said Lindsey Graham is the representative, he's a U.S. Senator from South Carolina. He said the violence was unacceptable and even criticized the blanket pardons Trump made. And we're going to talk about them blanket pardons. 10 House Republicans voted to impeach Trump for these actions. So we must remember that January 6th was indeed a disgraceful day in our country's history. It was a day of political violence that was egged on by the President of the United States. For the first time since 1814, Truth Nation, our capital in our democracy was overrun by a mob who forcefully breached our Capitol building. They tried to delay the certification of our free and fair elections in this country. This was not a protest. This was an attempt by Trump and his far-right crony thugs to disrupt our peaceful transfer of power, which is what we as Americans value. And again, a lot of this is me giving additional thoughts and opinions on what happened that day, but a lot of this is rooted in facts. This was led by Donald Trump. And special counsel Jack Smith, who led the investigation to this, he outlined that the prosecutors believed they had enough admissible evidence to obtain and sustain the conviction against Trump on multiple serious felony counts if the case had gone to trial. Donald Trump in this was part of conspiring to defraud the United States of America, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube to hear Jack Smith, the special counsel that was assigned to investigate the January 6th riot. These are his thoughts on Donald Trump and the role he played in the January 6th riots that happened at our Capitol.
At some point during the fighting, I was dragged from the line of officers and into the crowd.
YouTube. Sorry about that one. That was the first video that we wanted before. But now we're going to play another video of Jack Smith from YouTube. So make sure you go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure you go to 1017 The Truth.
Hey, brother, we're boots on the ground here. We're moving on to Capitol now. I'll give you a boots on the ground update here in a few.
Do we have the video of Jack Smith talking in court on the YouTube short?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I got you.
Do we? That? Yep. You know she back, and I forgot to play a video segment once, so it threw her off.
I got it. Give me 2 seconds.
All right. 1, 2. That was 2 seconds. Well, make sure y'all go to YouTube, on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. I'm going to play a video of Jack Smith, who was the individual that led the investigation into January 6, 2020, which was a bipartisan investigation. And Jack Smith, for a little period of time, served as an attorney in Tennessee that is oversees federal stuff in Tennessee, and he served for a little bit of time under the Trump administration before being replaced. Here is the video. Maybe not. All right, she been gone for so long. I don't know. Rhea, we got to get the volume up now, girl. You gonna hit audio volume? You're messing up Anyways, Truth Nation, we gonna get this figured out on the other side. But 833-212-1017 Truth Nation. The whole point of this is that we don't need the damn video at this point. I'm about to cuss on air.
I'm fighting for my life right now.
I see. Damn it. We forget the video. At the end of the day, I just want y'all to understand this, Truth Nation, that Trump was the ringleader and incited a mob that day. He was the ringleader and he incited a mob on January 6th. And I want y'all to understand on January 6th, 140 officers from the U.S. Capitol, police, and the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department and other agencies served and protect our democracy on that day. But 140 officers were attacked that day. At the urge of Donald Trump, these disgusting human beings on January 6th caused harm and injuries to our law enforcement officers. They sustained all types of injuries like concussions, traumatic brain injuries, broken ribs, smashed spinal discs, bruises, cuts, burns, and many were trampled. Donald Trump did that. And there is absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about what role that he played in this. Donald Trump refused to stop his crazy mob, and I say his crazy mob because when you watch videos back, which we will watch videos back if my producer can get it right, of folks with MAGA hats on, folks who came from a rally with Donald Trump. That was his crazy mob that he incited. They stormed the Capitol, and police lives were damaged from that action. Donald Trump played a direct role in that. I want to repeat, it was the largest single-day mass assault of law enforcement officers in our nation's history. And for all that damage and destruction being caused by these folks, they were pardoned. Donald Trump pardoned them. It shows you that blue lives don't matter to these Trump voters. So for those who claim blue lives matters, get rid of your back the badge bull crap you got on the back of your truck, because you're a fraud. If you voted for Donald Trump, you cannot talk to me about backing the badge. They don't go together. Because 140 officers were assaulted that day, and a gentleman lost his life because of the trauma and stress that he went through, having a stroke the day after having to defend the Capitol building. Donald Trump led to the death of the officer, and he led to the assault of 140 officers. When we come back, I want to play a scene from that awful day in history. So keep it locked. You're listening to Truth to Power right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, because this is a big day in history that we must remember.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation. Because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
It is what it is. It's taxpayers' dollars. It's like monopoly money. It's like, you know what? We can just pay our bills with this money. You know what? The homeless, they already out there. They already in the tent. I walked past the other day. They were out there having fun and singing and stuff like that. I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is the attitude. Like, you know what? We're going to just take this money, right? We'll think about this in 2 months. We'll reconvene after we pay off our bills, and see what we got left.
Yeah, Christmas coming up.
Yeah, we got Christmas coming up. Yeah, basically, yeah. And it's just like this nonchalant attitude with the taxpayers' dollars. You know what? Look at MPS. Look how much money we threw at MPS right here in the city of Milwaukee. We throwing money at these places. Like, it ain't like they don't have the funding.
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Milwaukee Panthers fell to the Green Bay Phoenix 79-76 on the road to fall to 7-9 on the season. The Panthers' next game is a Friday showdown at home against Northern Kentucky Norse. In the NFL, the Pete Carroll era in Las Vegas is over after 1 year. The team fired the 74-year-old coach Monday, who went 3-14 this season. And in Dallas, Matt Eberflus is no longer the defensive coordinator, sources tell ESPN. 2 days after the season ended, the Cowboys Rockets finished last in the league in points per game. In the association, the Thunder were humbled by the Charlotte Hornets last night, 124-97, and Kevin Durant was able to help his Houston Rockets win at home against the team that kicked him out.
I've been scapegoated, you know what I'm saying, for the issues we had as a team last year. Yeah, it felt good to beat them and hit a game-winning shot.
The Rockets win 197 against the Phoenix Suns. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting our hometown teams, member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
Truth Nation is back. 101.7 The Truth is the home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. And for the return of City Conference basketball, we have a matchup between the Carmen Northwest Eagles and the South Division Cardinals. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. The City Conference Game of the Week on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices. And also, remember, Truth Nation, we have big news. Mark your calendar for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards at Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee. We will celebrate the excellence in our community and recognize the quiet warriors creating extraordinary impacts. Tickets go on sale Monday, January 12th, and you do not want to miss this night of inspiration and celebration. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Milwaukee College Prep, Cousin Subs, Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and the Milwaukee Bucks. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Again, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Melissa and I appreciate you calling in and telling me to leave Rhea alone. Hell no, listen, I'm a confusing person, but I get there. There. We good for this segment now?
Yeah, I got you.
This was an award-winning show today. And now when I send it in for awards, they're going to say, well, there was a delay there. But the thing that matters more than that is that today marks 5 years since Donald Trump and his supporters attempted to overturn the 2020 elections by inciting a mob to run up in the Capitol and harass politicians, send politicians and their staff scrambling into hiding, calling them, please, Trump, call off this mob, call it off. And now the president wants to rewrite history as if it never happened. And some of y'all are complicit in this rewriting of history. But as a country which voted for him to stop inflation, they voted for Donald Trump to bring down the prices, to end wars. Matter of fact, he claimed he was going to end the war in Russia-Ukraine day one. That's what he said. Some of y'all went out there and said he's going to end that war day one. Well, we almost at day 365, and I think they're still dropping bombs in Kyiv, Ukraine. I still think millions of soldiers have lost their lives on both sides. Crazy. But one thing he did do on day one was his first day in office, instead of lowering your prices, instead of trying to make housing more affordable, instead of ending wars, instead of releasing the Epstein files that he's clearly a part of now that we know, he pardoned almost 1,600 rioters, traitors, violent thugs, the almost 1,600 people who disrespected our country and our Capitol building, the men and women who wear the badge to protect and serve our streets day to day. And to make matters worse, Truth Nation, this man has said and has allowed for the federal funding and compensation of January 6 rioters. He said he wants to get them some kind of compensation because a lot of people in the government like these January 6 folks. They're traitors, and Trump is a damn traitor himself. They paid $5 million to Ashley Babbitt, the woman who got shot and popped when she was breaking into the Capitol, who had a knife on her person. We seen black folks in Milwaukee get shot for less. This woman had a knife in her damn pocket, running at an officer, breaking and entering where she's not supposed to do. She wasn't complying and following commands and got popped, and her family got $5 million. And some of y'all defend these type of actions. I haven't heard him talk about the fact that these brave men and women from the Capitol Police and the D.C. Metropolitan Police who protect and serve the politicians that day and their staff members, I haven't heard about him trying to give them compensation. It's a slap in the face. This is the most anti-American government we have seen and most anti-police government we have ever seen. But let me take this moment to remind y'all who may have forgot what happened on January 6th. There was an attack on our Capitol building. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube because I want us to relive just 3 minutes of this awful, terrible day in American history. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so y'all can live back some of the atrocities that happened in this country 5 years ago.
Hey, brother, we're boots on the ground here. We're moving on to Capitol now. I'll give you a boots on the ground update here in a few.
Multiple capital entries. Multiple capital entries. We're still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles to include bottles and rocks, and hand-thrown chemical-grade fireworks. This is now effectively a riot.
1349 hours, declaring it a riot.
Okay, guys, apparently this tip of the spear has entered the Capitol building.
If I give this up, they're going to have to run Dexter. At least this Capitol we can defend. We got to hold what we have. Take your pins off.
Yeah. The
Take your pins off.
There's a 50 who blinked. 1033. I repeat, 1033 was from the Capitol. We've been blinked and we've lost the line.
You can hear the distress in these officers' radio calls for help and assistance. For people to sit here and try to diminish what happened on January 6th is ridiculous. For people to sit here and act like it wasn't a big deal is ridiculous. For people to talk about political violence on one side, Rhea, I don't know about you or Truth Nation on 1017 The Truth, those watching, those listening, you only heard it, but what hats did they have on?
A lot of them.
They had on
hats. They had like
red hats that said
red
45. Hats. The Make America Great hats on. These folks did this in support of Donald Trump. And so I want y'all to understand that they will try to rewrite history, but because of the fact that we have access to files and information and investigation, do realize that Don Jr., Donald Trump's son, on January 6th said in a text message to Mark Meadows, who was the chief of staff for Donald Trump, he said he's got to condemn this y'all know what it is, ASAP. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough. Mark Meadows responded to Donald Trump's son, Don Jr., saying, I'm pushing it hard. I agree. We need an Oval Office address. He has to lead now. It's gone too far and it's gotten out of hand. It has gone too far and has gotten out of hand, and somehow people went back and they voted for this man, and now we see the end result of this. Imagine, Truth Nation, if thousands of black people storm the Capitol on January 6th like that, what would be the end result? Imagine in this time today, if Somalians decided we have had enough of this hatred, this bigotry, this racism that you are trying to put on us. We are going up to the Capitol, we're going to protest, and we're going to storm the Capitol. They will be talking about how they needed to mow down and murder these Somalians and how they attacked their country. Imagine if people of Middle Eastern descent decided that they didn't like all this nonsense going on and they went up to the Capitol and they stormed the Capitol building. We will be saying, never forget, and it will be a terrorist attack. But simply because of the fact that it was white people, majority white people, attacking the Capitol, simply because they were attacking the Capitol in the name of Trump, they look like fighters. They try to label them as good people. I remember Republicans that day being very ashamed of the actions of what they saw going on in this country. But boy, their memory is so short. Their expectations are so low. Their morals are low. You cannot tell me that you voted for Donald Trump and you're a high moral character person. They don't go together. It's completely flawed. He's an awful human being. He led a mob or incited a mob to go attack our Capitol building. He was friends with a pedophile where he refused, I shouldn't say refused, where he kicked Epstein out of the club, but he didn't report the fact that Epstein was with young girls and trying to recruit young girls from his club, knowing exactly what he was doing with them. He's a flawed character, and so many of y'all just don't care about that. So don't talk to me about morals and don't talk to me about you want what's right for the country. You don't care about what's right for the country. These people attacked our Capitol building, and guess what they got the first day Trump got in office? They got a blanket pardon, a freaking pardon. Around 140 officers sustained all types of injuries, concussions, traumatic brain injuries. Officer Brian Sicknick died on January 7th, a day after responding to the riot. He had been assaulted during the attack, and he suffered chemical exposure, and he ended up having a stroke the next day. The D.C. medical examiner ruled his death was a stroke from natural causes, but stated all that transpired played a role in his condition in his death. His death is recognized as being attached to the fact that he was going through that stress just a day before. Several officers who responded to the attack later died by suicide in days, weeks, or months following January 6th. Trauma that they had to deal with. So you're talking about families that lost a loved one because of the actions of one man, and that is Donald Trump. Donald Trump led to the death of multiple American officers, and y'all don't give a damn, but y'all swear y'all back the badge. Officers suffered trauma that day. But these folks got pardoned. 833-212-1017. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is the reason why they support them because a lot of them know they was raised to be bed bugs, cockroaches, and animals because it's in them bastards and culture blood. They're probably used to seeing their mama get her ass beat, and that's where they think everything he's doing is right because the apples don't fall far from the tree, and they ain't nothing but a bunch of animals. Tweedledug, Tweedledoo, knock, knock. Who's there? Animals. They know who they are. That's why they're sitting there with Gorilla Glue on their mouth. And hide your kids. And the dog, too. And if you got a roach, hide that because they're going to get that one, too.
Sure
Have
is.
a good day.
Yep.
Happy Tuesday.
I agree, Al. A lot of these sick individuals. 833-212-1017. When we come back, there were 1,500 people pardoned on January 6th. I want to give y'all a quick update on what these folks are up to. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. And I'm going to let y'all know what these great Americans, according to Trump, what they're up to nowadays. I'm sure they're just upstanding Americans, right? We'll see on the other side.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
You don't want to be there. You don't like the work. You don't like the people. Now, there are some differences. The only difference is modern American slavery and capitalism versus 19th century. We were dramatically more primitive back then. And a slave that is able to buy their freedom is the same as the disaffected, disgruntled worker that is able to buy their way into entrepreneurship because that for them is free.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
It starts with a spark. At Milwaukee College Prep, they nurture that spark from age 3 through 8th grade, building scholars with knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of their students face economic hardship, but that does not define them. At MCP, they see students' potential, and they help them live up to that potential. 4 campuses, 1 mission, college and beyond. MCP is free, high-performing, and open to all Milwaukee families. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to enroll or get involved. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good, because today I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
1, 2, 3, ho!
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace. We're coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Now, Truth Nation, we're talking about today is the 1-year anniversary of the January 6th Capitol rioters. They stormed the Capitol, treasonous act. That's what it was. Almost 1,600 people were pardoned. And I want to know what happened to those folks who were pardoned? What happened to those folks who were pardoned? That's the big question. A lot of people have been wondering. Well, I want to give y'all an update. At least 33 January 6th insurrectionists were pardoned by President Trump, have been rearrested, charged, or sentenced for other crimes since that day, according to an analysis by Crew. Now, 6 of the pardoned folks, I want y'all to listen up here. 6 of the pardoned January 6th insurrectionists have been charged with committing child sex crimes, ranging from sexual assault to possession of child pornography. Now, does that sound like a good person to you? Nah, that's not good. But Trump pardoned them because he gave a blanket pardon to those great Americans from January 6th. Now, in addition to that, at least 5 were charged with illegal possession of weapons, including at least 2 who had previous domestic violence convictions. Oh, I didn't think beating up or women was okay with a lot of people, but I guess it's okay with Trump and Trump supporters. Now, on top of that, 5 were arrested or charged with driving while impaired or under the influence. And in 2 of these cases, Truth Nation, the defendant's reckless driving resulted in a fatality. So that means 2 people who were pardoned were driving drunk and ended up killing somebody else because of actions by Donald Trump. And guess what? 2 were charged with rape as well, but we already know Donald Trump don't give a damn about people being charged with rape because he was friends with a damn rapist. So all I'm saying, Truth Nation, is that when we talk about January 6th and we talk about these pardons, don't act like these were good people. These were heinous people that committed heinous crimes, disgusting individuals, sex crimes, rape, child pornography. These are the type of people that this man pardoned. Y'all president pardoned somebody that went on to rape people, went on to kill people, and went on to watch child pornography. January 6th was one of the worst days in American history, and y'all president played a role in encouraging it. But I want y'all to know this. Don't be naive as I leave today. Don't be foolish if you think that this cannot happen again. This was only Act 1. Because come January 2029, if they don't have the election results from 2028 that they want, we will see the second act of an insurrection of them trying to not certify election right here in America. Mark my words. They opened up the opportunity for this to happen again. This has been Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. The Tory Lowe Show is up next. Truth Nation, I appreciate y'all watching. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Need a way to hype up your day?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, you